two, one, go.
In the words of Freddie Mercury, it finally happened. It finally happened. It finally happened. We're slightly mad. Yes, this whole place has gone berserk. Now we're under threat from Malabar Hill police cops, whatever the hell they're called. Arguably the most dangerous people in the world right now, in the area that I live in, who are chasing us if we have little dogs or old people walking and screaming and shouting and almost abusing. Well, sort of abusing as well, actually, if I look at the text of what they said. The word stupid was used, for example. My point is, it started again. We can't do anything, and now they're terrorizing us. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we are stuck with anxiety, fear, pain, angst, loss of earnings, old relatives, young kids, all on top of your head. And after all that, you take your dog for a walk for three buildings, and a 16-year-old kid from my lane was taken into the station. He was pushed into the van. Well, to be honest, his dog jumped into the car because he loves cars. So he's 50% to blame. Let's be honest about that point. And then after which they took him in and made him, sit there for 5 minutes till his dad came and screamed at them and took him back. There was no point. There was no fine. There was nothing. In fact, nobody said anything to him once he reached there. The dog chased five cats. Mobile police station went berserk because those cats belong to the station. And so then the case would have been filed against the dog, against the cats. So that would have been another issue altogether. All I'm saying is, can somebody teach our policemen how to talk? I've seen them screaming at an 80-year-old man who lives in my lane who's going for a walk four buildings away and they're telling him things like, "Aapko अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, अंदर डालेगा." This is the way to talk. You don't talk to old people like that. They're not gangsters. They're not terrorists. They're not evil criminals. They're all stuck in this stupid pandemic. Have some sensitivity. For this training, I'm willing to come to Malabar Hill and train them with Amit, Silvery, and Sid. You live too far away, so let you off the hook on this one. All right, let's start our show. Cock and Bull, Monday morning, still in the lockdown.
What just happened?
Cyrus, we just lost your audio.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Cyrus. And you can't hear us either. Clearly.
Cyrus, we just lost you. Sorry.
We
you
just
gotta
can't
call
hear you at all.
you
Completely
gotta call
gone.
Maya. Sorry, Cyrus.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to call Maya. Or just unplug and replug your headphone. No.
Yeah,
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I can hear
You're
you.
back.
Yeah, you're back.
This may be an act of the police. They may have picked up on our live shows
Yes.
and immediately. See, this is the kind of fascist fear that we are under right now, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I was in North Korea, so I know for sure this is what's going on. Now we still have hope that it's a democracy. All right. All those who want to talk to our correspondent in Calcutta who said it's a dogfight and that Bengal will go down to the last over and anyone can win, but slight edge to TMC. Well, I got to tell you, the figures don't sound like a real fight. It was a bit of a beating, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it was.
And nobody called it. Everybody called it as really close, and maybe BJP will upset the apple cart and all that. But let me tell you about Bengal. You cannot go to Bengal, a very, very strong culture, and speak in Hindi. You're wasting your time. You make as many speeches as you want, but Bengali language is so strong that you're rejected immediately. I think that was a big mistake. And I think what you guys have not realized is one video changed the game. The one where she picks up the football from her chair, injured
Yeah.
leg and all, and throws it. Because Bengalis love football. Not
Yeah.
once did Amit Shah or Narendra Modi mention football. Not once. And I'm telling you, you don't need to be a Prashant Kishore. People like me can also help. We have a certain understanding of the science of polity. Uh, any comments from the August bunch of people who are not interested?
No, I mean, like it was a interesting outcome. It is I don't know what it says because a lot of it happened pre-pandemic. So I mean, like I don't know that it has anything to say about the surge, the second surge, and the handling of the second surge itself, right? But at the same time, it's clear that yeah, I mean, like people in Bengal like Mamta.
But what a big victory at
do
the
you
end,
think?
Huge.
which
Do you guys
honestly,
think?
no, the
Do you think this makes a difference in the rest of the country? Like, say 2024, you think it makes a difference?
it's
So
too early to call.
there is
Too early.
I saw a great quote by our Prime Minister uh, that what Bengal starts, the rest of India follows. The Prime Minister himself made this quote before the
Ouch!
elections.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we hope that's true.
That's going to come back to haunt. Ow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a interesting, but I don't think so. I don't think it does. I think it's a unique.
No, I think
All states are different.
it's a time phenomenon in the world, not just India. Nothing lasts for long now. So you can't connect things from 3 days ago to 3 days later.
Yeah.
So quite frankly, 24 is too far to call. Who knows? Pandemic may go,
And
maybe
also, there's
worse.
no opposition. Like, there is nobody to
No
stand.
central opposition in
Yeah,
that sense. A coalition that we keep
yeah.
thinking of
Mhm.
still not turned up. And yeah, but the 5, 6 states are quite strong now that are anti-BJP, and they're all powerful ones like Tamil Nadu, Bengal, Punjab,
Hmm.
I think Telangana, Orissa,
Yeah.
and because they won the election but are not in power. So that honestly, that's a Chanakya moment. That is, how do you explain that to a kid who's 5? How do you explain it? But they got more votes, they clearly won everything and all that, but no, they're
Because
not in
Sharad
power.
Pawar happened.
Oh,
That's
wow. Yeah.
No,
exceptional.
but that's actually an interesting way of looking at it, right? I mean, like if you look at most of the states that Cyrus mentioned, they all have extremely strong local figures, right?
Hmm.
Like seriously strong local figures. Like Mamta is a national figure, Sharad Pawar is a national figure,
Yeah.
Amrinder is a national figure. I mean, like these are all very, very powerful. The political. What was the word that used to be
And
used?
and
Satraps or something like
I
that.
I feel, Amit, to enter their culture, their subculture rather,
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
easy for the outsider. Where,
Hmm.
like a Delhi, Bombay, which is all mixed up anyway. So we don't have a strong ethnic footprint, no matter what they say about Maratha lobby and this lobby. But there, it's really tough for
Yeah.
you to come out, from Gujarat or from, the East or wherever, and then try and overtake and overhaul a system which is very strong in the sense of their partisan politics that they have.
That's why. But UP is going to be still like very interesting next year to watch. Like,
UP is a whole different ball game which no one can understand honestly.
yeah.
And yeah, but you think they can Yogi will
Uh,
lose?
I think it'll be dirty. I don't. It'll be very tough for Yogi to lose, and it'll be very
So
dirty.
here's the thing, though. I mean, like the anger that you're seeing from UP, right? And in the sense of when it comes to the handling of things, right? UP is probably one of the worst placed states right now from a health infrastructure perspective,
And the
and
numbers are
people.
growing, really
And
growing.
dude, I mean, like I've seen 3 videos of like crying relatives, articulate crying relatives outside hospitals.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, like just talking about like, we've been waiting here for like 2 hours. There's no oxygen. There's no this. Our hospitals are not admitting because we have no beds. And my mother was lying in the hospital, outside the hospital for an hour, and she died. I mean, like you're seeing all these kinds
You
of
know,
videos. It's
it's
gonna have an
it's an
effect. I
ugly
can't.
thing to
The
say, but
positive. Hmm.
yeah, go on,
No, the
sorry.
positive is that whole of UP will be in jail on NSA that Aditya will put on him. So he'll definitely win. So there'll be few people.
That is
Yeah,
all.
but also let's not forget that Uttarakhand's Kumbh Mela, which is a sister state, and
Yeah.
I mean, it spills over to that whole cowbelt area
Yeah.
because those devotees mostly come between from MP or to Uttarakhand and all the
Uh-huh.
states in between. That ramifications of that, because we are concentrating. Again, it's an ugly sentence, but we're concentrating on Mumbai, Delhi a lot, the
Mhm.
glamour cities, and they get a
Yes.
lot of pound of media if you look at it. And while you're saying that, the other lesser known devils or lesser known cities, rather, devils is a bad word to use, are going under the radar. But now suddenly the radar is coming onto them, and we're getting a little more worried because it's such a huge country.
Yeah.
It's far more than Mumbai and Delhi and our local issues now.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is that what is kind of amazing, right, is that Bombay and Delhi are struggling the way they are because they're populous cities with large population, with large numbers of people,
Hmm.
but they're also pretty much the best healthcare.
Yeah.
The areas with the best healthcare infrastructure,
Yeah.
and still the kind of struggles that you've seen in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore around this kind of stuff, right? It's really
But
kind
look at it
of
the other way. If we are struggling, the A
what's
grade
happening
cities,
there.
without being,
What's
Brahmanical
happening
about it,
there
what's happening
exactly?
to the B and the C and the D and the names of cities that you
And
don't know in
yeah,
India?
exactly,
How
what's
are they going
happening
to
over
cope when they have
there?
just one hospital with 3 people and no cylinders and blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Also, UP with the whole village election thing has also gone. They are basically predicting that it's going to be terrible because they've had some panchayat elections in
Where people
different
have
villages.
congested everywhere.
Yeah, and with Kumbh Mela returning, so everything's getting mixed up.
Yeah. And how sad and ironic that it's actually very close to the English word yippee, which is a celebratory word, yippee, and it's so close. You say it slightly wrong, and boom, it goes there. And this is, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
man.
worried about the ticking time bomb of India, which is not the big cities, as everyone's concentrating on,
Yeah.
not the 4, 5 metros, but much more and beyond,
No,
who seem to have escaped
also
the wrath of pandemic so far.
let's also be honest here, right? I mean, like the people in cities have access to media in a way that somebody who is in some, small city in UP, right? Like Like Meerut is one of the places I saw the videos from, right? And like, I mean, like there are no reporters floating around Meerut outside of Barkhadat, right? There's nobody reporting
Because
from
she's
there.
not allowed in Delhi.
Well,
There's a reason for that. Yeah.
no, but she's pretty much the only national level reporter that's kind of gone place
But
to
see,
place to
Amit,
place, right?
this brings us back to page three culture. Even if you're dying in a fucking pandemic, it's still a page three culture all over the world. You know, what's glamorous, what's interesting, what's newsworthy. I hear it in the channel. I wish I would write down what people say. It's really awkward to hear these things.
Yeah.
It's always about Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, whatever. And the
Yeah.
smaller cities, then they go
Yeah.
to a small town for an exclusive story, which is the paradox of this, just to show. But nobody, you're right, nobody's covering the length and breadth of the country except our intrepid reporter, Basanti. She alone has
Yeah,
gone through it on
she
one
went
foot.
to, yeah.
She went to Nandigram, where the great Mamata Banerjee actually perhaps maybe have lost. But now that she's won the entire thing, they're going to file a court case. And ladies and gentlemen, to the victor belongs the spoils. Yeah. God, the best part is, guys, guess how they celebrated? They were told muted celebrations, please, for all 5 states. And the first thing, the BJP office was burnt down.
What?
What?
They
What?
burned down the BJP office.
Where in
Amit, where are you
Calcutta?
living, bro?
I
This
didn't hear
this
this.
this is better than cricket for me. This is the ridiculousness of being an Indian.
They
You
did
know?
this in Calcutta. They burned down the BJP
Yes,
office.
Oh shit.
yes,
Oh shit.
immediately while they were counting. Once it was well over 200 and the BJP were going
Why
down from
kid them
88.
when they're down? I mean, like, shouldn't you smile at them and be nice to them
Amit,
and like,
Amit, Amit,
oh,
Amit.
it's so much more satisfying to to be
There, he's put it up.
sarcastic and to be like kind of like shirty to somebody rather than to burn their offices down.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
so dumb.
yeah, okay. So Arambagh. So it's not exactly the central office or whatever. Possibly, I'm not sure. But the fact of the matter is, well,
Oh man,
this is India. This
this
is
is
where our third
India.
worldness is very strong. You're expecting decorum. You're talking about civility and decency. Have you heard the
Yeah.
speeches? Have you heard them speak? Don't just think of Mamta firebrand or Narendra Modi firebrand. Think of the lower rank, the rank and file. I mean, they're completely polarized, aggressive, abusive. The works.
Dude,
Yeah,
What do you expect?
this is all the groundwork which we never see. We just see
Yeah.
see if
I want to be
it,
one of those groundwork guys, yeah, because you get to do all this rubbish. अबे आप देखो हाँ अभी वो रसगुल्ला वसगुल्ला कैंसिल करो पार्टी वार्टी बंद करो दारू बारू कुछ नहीं पिलाओ बट जला दो.
just burn.
Cyrus Karyakarta. I want to see Cyrus as a Karyakarta.
कार्यकर्ता, yeah.
The
Oh, except for the
absurdity,
walking, huh?
the absurdity of
Apparently they
this
don't get
stuff
cars.
is
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, the absurdity of this stuff is insane, right? I mean, like Samit Basu, I think he's been on your show a couple of months ago, and he had a really funny tweet a day ago or so that basically, in the middle of pandemic, we have an election with election rallies, and the ruling party
But
loses in the way that they do, and basically, magical realism is not really, can't compete with India's reality. And I mean, like you throw this in there.
it's all perspective. You see, instead of concentrating on the Kumbh and the election rallies and the people gathering together in panchayat village elections, as he's pointed out, we go after dog walkers who are alone in any case, 3 buildings from where they are, or an old man walking at 6:30 in the morning because he's just completely paranoid with fear and doesn't know what else to do with his life, living alone. He's a widower. I mean, that's where the great Malabar police have done their, Padma Bhushan winning work, as far as I'm concerned. And the rest of India is just, and nobody's really the whole Kumbh. Imagine what the world is thinking of us.
No,
While they want to help us and all. Just imagine, what do we say?
no,
How can
no,
you go to the
we
United Nations and how would I defend it if I was the diplomat out there for India? If I was Shashi Tharoor erstwile,
You
I mean,
won't go to.
what would you say? Tell me, what would you
You
say to
won't
the?
go. I would just not go to the UN and be just with the right now. Our best defense is to just avoid
I'll tell you
that
what
there's
you'll
any
do.
problem.
What you'll do is quietly walk to Bangladesh side and stand there. Because right now the United Nations being a Bangladeshi is a far better option than being an Indian. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just
No,
yeah, and
I mean, like, it's just, I mean, like, the incompetence around all of it is so staggering, right? It's just like, you know what? I enjoy watching television on television these days. I like watching, like, shows which are about people who know what they're doing because it just feels like such a contrast to the real world.
Animal Planet then.
No, no, I mean, like,
Where are you?
shows like The West Wing, shows
Ah,
like,
oh, you're talking about fiction, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm talking about fiction only, but I mean, like,
Huh.
that's what you feel like watching right now.
Watch Laugh Out
Because,
Loud.
uh,
Everybody knows what they're doing.
or Laugh
It's a
Out Loud.
fabulous show
What
on
is Laugh Out
Amazon.
Loud?
Uh, Hase ya Fase
Great new
or
show. Yeah, great new
What
show on
what show
Amazon
is
Prime.
that? Where is that show? Where have you
so it's on
have you?
Amazon. You no need to plug it because I've done 40 interviews. I don't want to plug
But
it in.
that's okay. You should plug it on your own show now.
You think?
Yeah, you should. At
They'll
least
reject me if
once.
they watch it.
Can I? I was actually going to say that we should try and get a bunch of those people and try and
We
get
can.
them
Oh,
on and
Yeah,
Suresh
we
wanted to
have
come on. Ankita
yeah, we
wanted to
should.
come on.
Yeah, we
Aditi
should get
Mittal
them
is
all
already
on.
scheduled for this month.
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
great.
get.
But
We
they
should
all
get.
want to. Yeah, but they'll come on. They
Yeah,
all
we
come
should
on.
get them all. We should get. Yeah, because
They're all desperate for publicity and work and all. They said
well.
fine.
And apparently, you guys didn't spend enough time with each other, so I think that will also be good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any bad stories to tell you. No, nobody
Yeah.
irritated me enough. Uh, I
Yeah.
mean, the technical
Her
team.
second season, Cyrus. Let's
The
go.
catering was horrible as usual. Nothing ever changes. As I
Oh.
mentioned 200 times, you order a pizza, it comes after 3 hours. I don't get that. I know it was
Okay.
still the pandemic, but hey.
So
Otherwise,
I actually I did see the whole thing, right? I watched the whole thing this weekend, and yeah, it was pretty funny. I mean, like I was I mean, like I told you this beforehand, right? I didn't expect to like
you
it.
didn't throw up. Our standards are very
No,
low.
I
You
didn't
didn't throw
expect
up,
to
then
like.
it's okay.
I didn't expect to enjoy it, right? I thought when I was watching it, this doesn't seem like a premise that's going to appeal to me.
I
And
would not sell it to Amit Doshi, honestly.
yeah,
I would not think it's your sensibilities from any angle. But there are
I,
moments which you could bear, but to sit through 6 without stopping
but it's
and,
again,
and there's no
it's
sex, I mean, it
but
makes
see,
no
that's
sense.
just it, right? So it was 3 hours, right? So I mean, like basically, I started at
It's
like
only
4 or
22
5.
minutes an episode. How much is that?
It was less than 3 hours, yeah.
Two
So
and
I
a
mean,
half
like,
hours max.
yeah. So I started at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I was done by 5:30 or so. And I mean, like, it wasn't like, yeah. If you asked me to spend like days and days on it, I might have struggled a little bit. But it was a couple hours.
No, but even
And
yeah, sorry.
no, and also I knew a bunch of you, right? I know you, I know Suresh, I know Adar fairly well. I know Aditi, I know Malika, I know Gaurav. So I mean, I know enough of you people in the house that it was kind of fun for me to see how each of you were interacting with each other. Like, I thought Malika was hilarious in there, right? When she started doing her American accent, I just
Yeah.
I couldn't stop at that point. And then others started building on top of that, right? And that piece I thought was really funny. So
Yeah, but that piece was slightly more your sensibilities. But there was plenty that whatever, that's not
yeah, I even liked that guy,
aspersions.
Akash Gupta, and his
The
car
car thing.
gag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
his
car
car
gag was
gag.
pretty funny.
It,
Yeah.
it got killed, I think, because of the buzzer going in the
Yeah,
middle of it. But I'm
because
sure he would
he
have
was
cracked somebody
that
if he would have brought
Finished
in
it.
the bumper at like
yeah,
in the middle of the actual thing instead of in the break. I'm sure he would have cracked somebody at that point.
yeah, true. I agree.
Yeah. But although when you're conscious, I'm telling you honestly, it's a little easier when you're conscious. If you tell yourself not to laugh, it's when you're slightly off your guard. That's the problem. But of course, it's not as easy as you think. I can tell you that. Not laughing. God, yeah. Because you don't have to laugh out of laughter. You laugh out of derision. You laugh out of rejection. You laugh out of nervousness. It's not just the oh God, he's so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It was decent, man. It was a
Yeah.
fun afternoon to watch. Like light watch kind of
But
thing. It
even
was
the
fun.
Mexican and Australian versions are,
Oh.
yeah, it's a mix. There's really loud stuff. There's a
Hmm.
little more subtle stuff. There's crap happening in the background which you may not even pick up if you don't really pay attention. So I think the same thing worked in India. It was a bit of that.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Cool.
Dudeja hasn't watched it. He has no respect for older comics.
No, no.
He has no idea who
I
it is. If you say Gaurav Gera's name, he walks out of the room. And Malika Dua is just not his cup of tea because he doesn't like anybody with a Dali accent. Is that right?
no. I'll watch it today.
See, bastard. Don't worry, I haven't watched it either.
Okay.
But that's also because the IPL is on in the evening, and
Yeah. That's the
like
more. And
much
then
to watch.
there's I saw Formula One also yesterday. So
There you go. And I've got Larry Wheels. I'm watching every day to
Hmm.
improve my powerlifting. He's a phenomenon. Check
Oh
him
yeah.
out. He'll get
Okay.
you well.
I saw the Sixers beat the Spurs in overtime
There you
this
go. So we
morning.
all got our own priorities,
There we go.
except bloody this boy in Powai.
No,
Now
no,
that he
I
can't
s-
meet his
I saw the Man United versus Liverpool match get cancelled
cancelled.
yesterday.
Yeah.
That happened.
What is happening? I have no idea.
It's after this whole this super league that nearly happened, and the Glazer family is already hated of Man U for all their decisions, etc. We won't get into all that, but so they stormed the pitch. They behave like Indians.
Like
And I
1,000
saw
people stormed.
1,000
the-
people. They're
yeah.
all Caucasians. There was no Indian amongst them. So obviously they took a class from somebody in India, and YouTube class, because we spread this striking force.
From
And even the
Bengal.
caption sounded, yeah, because the caption sounded very much Indian. There was no creativity. There was like F you, man you, and all that. I was like, wow, you sat there with a paper and you came up with this. I mean, what 3-year-old did that? So that's the football job
So
for
what
you.
is the problem with the Glazer brothers? They're the casino owners from the US, right?
Yeah. So it all, the catalyst to all this is that Super League thing where they initially
Oh,
signed and all that, betrayed the supporter who owns the club. I don't know. In India,
okay.
we feel like that. I don't think we do.
I
Do you
don't
feel
think
you own the
IP.
Congress party if you're a member? Or nobody's a member of Congress
I don't
party
think
No.
now?
I don't think we own Mumbai Indians. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you dare. You dare. Hello, sir. I just want to make a change. Pollard at 4, please, from tomorrow. No way. No one's listening to you. Yeah.
So yeah, the protests were happening. There were about 1,000 people that stormed the Old Trafford field where the United versus Liverpool match is supposed to happen. And so at first they were like, okay, it's delayed. We'll do it after an hour. The match will be postponed by an hour. But then later on it came out just postponed. They
And keep in
come out with a
mind,
date
this is
later.
like, for football lovers, EPL follows. This is
Yeah,
like
the biggest match.
the Ashes or India
Yeah.
Pakistan. Yeah, I mean, they wait. I mean, you wait and wait for this.
Yeah.
So other than LOL, who really makes you happy in bad times like this, that would be something to look forward to. But yeah, but
So
yeah,
it's
the
interesting, right?
yeah.
These Glazers are a problem. Like, if I'm not mistaken, these same guys used to own the Sacramento Kings, a
Correct.
basketball
They
team.
own some basketball team
Yeah,
or football
and
team in America.
they were
I think they
hated
still
over
do
there as well. No, they sold the. So I think they still own the Tampa
part.
Bay Buccaneers,
Yeah, I think so.
maybe the football team, but I think they also owned the Sacramento Kings basketball team, and they are hated so much that the guy who bought it from them, Indian guy named Vivek Ranadev,
Yeah.
he's the guy who bought the team, who owns the Sacramento Kings now. His team has sucked for the last 6 years, and people don't hate him as much as they hate those people.
Okay, wow.
Plus, he's Indian. Who can hate an Indian?
Well, nobody, of course not. We're
There was a pause
perfect.
there, though.
Yeah, because
Say, do you want to come in?
I want to live.
Yeah, you want to cross to Bangladesh? You could just go to Calcutta. Yeah.
But also, like, how much I don't know that much about football. How much power does the fan really have? If the owner says something is
Well,
to be
one thing
done,
I'll tell you, the fan stood up about the Super League and
yeah,
shut down everybody. They got
that's
scared of
true.
the fan.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that'll happen in
But
India.
then
We're
they are
not that
saying
democratic.
this time the fans are saying, "Okay, Glazers sell off. You guys have to back off and sell off this club. It's no
No, there's
longer
a
yours."
this is just the
Can't-
catalyst at the end. There's a long-standing dispute with the owners, their arrogance, their buying, their spending, the way they behave, whatever. I don't know all the details. My son does. We'll put him on the show one day, but not now because he sleeps till 4 in the evening.
hey, I got a question for you, and this is a bad place to ask this question because
Yeah,
I was asked to ask this to you offline like
yeah,
4 days
yeah.
ago.
Okay.
Would you like to have your mom on for Mother's Day?
I don't mind, but my mom will. Yeah, I don't mind, but she may take offense, so I'll deal with that. No lunch for 3 days or whatever. Yeah.
All right, there you go, Antariksh. Can you
Yeah.
When is Mother's
please?
Yep.
Day?
I think it's on the 9th.
Every month they have a Mother's Day. Too many bloody mothers in this country anyway. Too many mothers in this country as well.
So there you go. And we're also promoting it in advance, right? So everybody should know.
Okay, 9th of
Uh,
May, right? I better warn her so
And
she
so
can do
9th
her.
of May is actually a
Every
Sunday.
time I started shooting Insta with her, she wants to do her makeup. Like she feels really, I mean, she's an old lady now, but she wants to just, she feels so insecure. And I'm thinking of all the MTV VJs and I'm thinking, oh God, this is coming back to haunt me. Because every time we had to shoot an extra episode, the whole worry was now how long will the female take to get ready? They say, okay, one more, we'll do one more. Because the guy just puts the shirt on and sits and is ready. And, with you, not to be sexist, said never become a VJ. If you as nice as
Clearly,
those
I don't
girls
have
were, they
the.
were lovely. I love all the girls I've worked with. Oh, just waiting for them to change, except for the gifted Malaika and Shenaz. Shenaz only wore black, so she was like a postman from Bulgaria, a beautiful postman. Just one black shirt, next black shirt, third black shirt, we're all good. But anybody else, we start playing cricket. In between these episodes, all the boys gather around with that small. You remember the small bats with the
With the
Coca-Cola thing?
signatures,
Yeah,
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 the
yeah.
thumbs up
signatures.
bat with
Yeah,
the West Indies signatures,
yeah.
dude. I
So we got
remember.
those, and you remember that ball? What's that ball called? That bounce super ball that bounces up
Crazy
and
Crazy
ball.
down.
ball.
Crazy ball.
Crazy ball. Try
Yes.
playing. So we were 20 of us in the studio, big studio in Bombay Labs, and we play with that. And the bounces like Perth
I
wicket,
know.
and you got this small bat. Great, and we had all kinds of rules. Two bounces out, but one hand. All the rules of
So we
Mumbai.
had I remember we used to play crazy ball cricket in our building. We had a rule that you had to let the bounce ball twice.
Twice.
Yeah,
Even we had the rule. It's
yeah,
not the
you could,
original rule.
yeah,
What?
okay. Okay, all right. I didn't know that was. I thought it
It
was
was
an
passed
original.
down.
I did not know that. I thought that we were being very clever. That hey,
No,
you got to ball the ball strike.
let me tell you about Love Line, the shoot we used to do. Okay, when the shoot starts and we start talking, the guy on the rafter, he goes to sleep. The cameraman is on his phone. The light guy is switched off. The fashion people, the stylists, and all have gone into the room to talk and chat. Okay, but the moment we have a break, everybody comes alive. They all come running out. The bat comes out. The ball comes out. The fighting starts. like, मेरा batting था. तू क्या किया? वो पीछे जाओ, आगे आ गया, front में आ गया. Suddenly there's so much Josh Junoon in the room. And then again, the girl is ready. We go back. Everybody's down on the phone. The guy goes up there. And I'm thinking, oh, there must be something wrong with this picture. Yeah.
Enthusiasm
Yeah.
in
Anyway.
all the right
It's for
places.
cricket, right? Like if you even go to a Maidan, you always stop to watch like a
Yeah.
ball or two.
But not a ball or two. For me, I just like to see how Indians, our people, never dress for sport. So they've
Ah.
always got black shoes on, long trousers. So somebody thinks it's fashionable to wear a full jersey in May, and he's bowling at full tilt. Those things are lovely, but I suppose that's part of the Maidan culture of maybe not just Mumbai. I'm sure it's all over.
Yeah.
Well, Amit and young Silvery have never played in a Maidan, as far as I can see.
No, I have played at.
I played at Police Gymkhana.
That's not a
You played at
Maidan.
Police Gymkhana.
Malbas
yeah.
police they picked him up. You paid. You paid. They let us pay and play also there, no?
No, I used to. I told you right a while back. I used to take coaching classes from Jaya
Ashok Mankad.
Lalit. No, what's the name?
Yeah.
Jayantilal.
Jantilal. Yes, Jantilal.
70-71 Gavaskar tour. He toured West Indies.
Yeah,
Of course.
correct.
Oh.
So I used to take coaching classes from him, and he used to
Very
take
sweet
coaching
guy.
classes.
Bombay Gym
at
drinking partner
police.
of mine in the old days, huh?
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll tell him the next time I meet him, which I don't meet him.
No, he's great fun. Actually, I don't know. As a coach, they all have that cruise attitude. I know they
Yeah.
make you run and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But off the field, they're all great guys. These are guys who grew up in 60s and 70s. So they drink, they chat, they make dirty jokes. They're good fun. But so you were a budding cricketer, and the
I
loss to
mean,
cricket is now podcast is gain. It looks like
No. So my brother was always a better cricketer and much more into
he's
cricket.
better at everything than you, Silvery. Is your
Man,
mom
he
listening?
should be a better podcast producer also. But
But you're the better cook.
well, yeah, that is true. I would say so. I'm sure.
So what are you doing at police
yeah.
gym? Quickly, we have to take a break.
I used to just whatever. We could learn cricket. What do you mean?
Oh, acha. The academy was in police gym.
Academy.
Yeah.
Did you play under lights or not?
To pay a lot for that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think
A lot of nets, just regular.
I
nets
remember
was
I had friends who used to play a lot of those Gymkhana matches, or they'd rent a ground at the Gymkhana and play matches on Sundays. And the normal Gymkhana ground was like $8,000. The police Gymkhana was like 35,000. This was
Yeah.
like early
35,
2000s.
no, Baba.
Early 2000s. This was with
Now it must
lights.
be
With
18.
lights.
Even
with
there we are
lights.
paying hafta. What the bloody hell?
No, with lights, no, dude. Lights versus the cost of lights here. I mean,
And it's a small ground. You can really hit sixes
Yeah.
and all.
But
Yeah.
sometimes like famous cricketers would come in, like Ajit Agarkar, I remember
Yeah.
Sanjay Bangar, I remember had come in, and
Yeah.
they used to play. So that used to be like really awe-inspiring. Like, oh, a professional cricketer is coming and playing in the same
Silvery,
field.
you were close to becoming a decent cricketer, is it?
No, I was not me. My brother was. I was just along, like, acha, theek hai, isko bhi bhej dete saath
So
mein.
what happened after you took the
One of those.
coaching? I mean, did you play any under 13s, under 15s, anything?
I never got into any of the teams, any
School
school
ka
team,
team?
nothing I got into.
Giles Shield, Harris Shield.
And my brother got into every school team for cricket. So it was always for him only.
Is this why you smoke up?
I don't, man. I never do.
He doesn't. Ma'am, if you're listening, he doesn't. I just tease him.
she's definitely listening. Yes.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah. Only an Indian celebrity will bring his mother to the podcast. Now you have yours everywhere, and mine will come next week or something to
Yeah,
join us. How do we explain to Westerners? They'll be like, we haven't seen our mom since Thanksgiving.
that was your funniest joke, by the way.
What?
Mommy, I want to leave.
Yeah, that was very funny.
That was
yes.
your funniest joke.
That was
honestly.
very
I like
timely,
my
yes.
I like my cock one in the beginning, which I'm telling you, two of them smiled, but they didn't pull them out. Yeah, because I caught them all off
So
guard.
do you think it got missed? Do you think they missed people who were smiling and they didn't catch
No, I
that?
think
100%.
I think they purposely sort of did not want to end somebody in 1 minute. Because we suddenly had, if I think I can say it now, it's all on air. The three went very quickly. So suddenly it looked like the show will end fast. And then nothing. Everybody went into shutdown. Lockdown ho gaya. on the
Right.
sets. And so you don't want to. The best thing is to then avoid the ball as much as possible unless they warn you. That's the best thing to do. I
Mm.
was very worried about Adar. He was making me laugh a lot
Yeah.
because his
His music stuff
sarcastic
was funny.
comments, music, all that was right up my alley.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of guy I really wanted to avoid. And he would always just walk around because nobody's listening to him. So he would always come behind me and just make his comment. I'm like, leave me alone now. Go speak to somebody else. Yeah. Grover also was very funny because he's got a 20% smile all the time on his face. He's got a really wide mouth,
Huh.
like this. So you can't call it. It's like, and I'm always looking at it and saying, little more, little more, little more. Yeah. But yeah.
Should we take a break?
Oh yes,
break,
yes.
yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break.
We have an
And
ad read again.
We have,
Cyrus.
of course, we must have. I sure I didn't see it. I've seen it now. Mr. Dudu. Can I call you Dudu?
Yeah, everyone calls me that.
They call you Dudu?
Yeah,
Ah,
even in
no.
the chat, people are like, Dudu's here. There'll be a lot of cricket talk today.
It's a cute name. It
Uh.
does sound like boobs, but that's fine. Because see, the recall will always be there, no? Isn't that
Yeah.
good? Like I think Silvery is better than Antariksh. You will never forget Silvery. Everybody who's worked with us remembers him now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Like the other day, somebody wanted to bring a producer on the show, and I sent you I forget the Disha. Disha sent a link, Silvery,
yeah.
and then she was
Correct.
when she wrote back, because I said I'll get him to get in touch with you. She wrote, Silvery is not responding. I don't know why. She wrote Silvery. I can send you the message. So
Antariksh, that is the ultimate. If you can get a professional nickname,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it.
So here I'm thinking there's a correspondence going on, and in her mind she's not blinked about it. It's just
No.
Silvery, straight away.
No.
She's not even.
Yeah.
Can I say Silvery? And like the Parsi lady who actually asked me, is it okay if I address him as Silvery? I said yes. It's a bit late. It's episode 669 or something. I mean, what are we gonna do? Silvery, doo-doo. Better than Broach the cockroach, which is a horrible nickname.
Yeah.
Okay, some good news. The Cred Mega Jackpot Week has got me way too excited. At which point our guest has to show excitement. Let's see. Sid.
Hey.
Every single guest has been so sardonic. It's amazing. From 3 years of free flights to winning a new Tata Safari car, which you see at the IPL matches every single day in different colors. Yesterday, Chris Gale nearly hit the window of one with a 6. There are tons of prizes to be won. You can even win free iPhones for the next 10 years. 10 years! And then my favorite line, my daughter will never have to go shopping again. Ding! Great Mega Jackpot Week is from 27th April to 3rd May. New jackpots will be received every day and crazy offers from partner brands on specific days. So don't miss out. Just download. Sid.
Cred.
Yeah, super.
Yes. And can I'll download it, but I have a debit card, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
We'll work it out.
You work it out.
Kunal Bhai is a very good friend. In fact,
Okay.
I just did a ad for the boy band. Did you all see the boy band cred
Yeah.
ad?
Yeah.
Okay. With my 3 of my favorite cricketers.
Sabah Karim was there.
Sabah Karim is in a little bit.
Yeah.
Maninder Singh and the
But
two
I wanted
Kannada
to plug
boys.
Sabah Karim because he was there. He's on our
Sabah
show.
Karim who's on our show, of
He was
course.
on our show every morning
Sabah
at
Karim is
9:15
he's a
to
very
talk
good
about
choice
the
to be-
IPL, Khel Niti. Please go check it out.
He's a very good choice that you've made because he's
Yeah.
an extremely astute man. Let me tell you.
He's very
Unfortunately,
smart.
because
Dude.
of an injury, he only played one test and a few one-day games.
Yeah.
Very, very. That's
No,
also-
very smart guy. Very smart guy.
But
I
coming
mean,
up with the boy
I've
band-
spoken to him a couple of times. Yeah, sorry.
So we did a little. I'll send you the promo, the
Oh.
thing that I did, where we have to look at it and sort of, give our feelings. What is the thing where you check things out and
Reaction
the
video.
reaction videos. There you go.
Yeah.
See.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did that. And I must
Oh,
tell
really?
you,
That's
my
interesting.
reactions aren't that far from the truth. It's really, I can't believe Venki Prasad is 6'5" alpha male from Karnataka, and then he's winking and kissing and and Javadal Srinath, one of the greatest Indian fast bowlers of all time. Again, these are real macho men, I mean,
Yeah.
these are the murders of Karnataka. You wouldn't want to mess with them ever. Big fellows. And he's standing there and doing things like this with sunglasses on. And they've got this Simi Garewal white background for everything. It's really hilarious. I love the ad.
I thought
And
it
then
was
Maninder
great
Singh
too.
says, "You don't know me," because he's taken off the pagadi for some reason
Yeah.
and he's unshaven or whatever. So you don't recognize him immediately. But it's such a sad thing that he has to say, "You may not know me" or something is the line. This guy was really phenomenal. One of the greatest left-arm spinners for a little while. He's really talented guy. And then, of course, Sabah Karim is in a bathtub. Nobody explains why, with mountains in the background, snow-capped mountains. And he's playing an imaginary guitar, which I promise you Sabah cannot play. This you can check with him on your podcast. So, but I think, again, Ayappa and I think Tanmay are the two creative geniuses
Mhm.
behind it.
Yep.
Maybe we'll get a chance too, Amit.
Well,
A cred ad, a proper cred ad where we get to behave ridiculously against. Maybe I keep quiet for 10 minutes and you talk about your hatred for electronics. And Celery says, don't do
Chocolate eating. Yeah.
chocolate eating. Chocolate is bad.
Yeah, you should.
Caffeine है उसमें, cocoa है उसमें, cacao.
Yeah,
What's it with cocoa and coca? What's that story?
Cacao.
Cacao.
No,
Doesn't it sound
cocoa.
horrible?
Yeah, it
Make
sounds
up your
horrible.
mind.
Okay,
Is it
fine.
cacao? Is it cacao? It's
It's
cacao. He's
cacao.
right.
Cacao.
It's an A.
Yeah.
Celery, Google it. Google it. Huh?
CACAO.
So then what is the pronunciation? Back to Italian. Although this is what?
Cacao. Cacao.
Cacao.
Portuguese maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's cacao.
See, it is cacao because I have had a lot of salads in life, and with that, like cacao shake, so that there's no less sugar.
Okay, whatever you do, don't make fun of cacao in India.
Cacao.
It's a holy
That's,
animal.
I just heard the pronunciation is cacao.
How
Yeah.
did you hear?
Cacao.
You heard it?
Yeah.
You played it on audio?
The
Well,
Google Translate-
I can play it on myself. It doesn't transmit through the this.
Yes. It's like God. God just checks. Ting, tong. Ho gaya.
I just went to Google, I checked cacao, and I hit the pronunciation
Say
thing, and
it.
it told me
Say it.
cacao.
Say it slowly.
Cacao.
Cacao. So Sid was right.
Yeah.
My friend from Powai was completely wrong. He sounds
Sorry.
like a nice
I was
Parsi
thinking
from
of the
Kushrubak.
chocolate.
Arey
Cocoa.
cacao,
That's
cacao,
hot
chai,
That's
cacao, cacao.
Yeah.
But for Indians, it sounds like a dirty word, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So like cacao is the thing, right? And then cocoa is what is made from it.
Yeah. Cacao is the OG, like
It's
bitter.
the plant.
Bitter. Yeah, and it's bitter if you have it. Like you need.
Yeah.
It's great for protein shakes, by the way.
Note to self: OG is the what I have to use. Is also in the boy band because they
It
were
is-
the OG.
They were the OGs.
Oh, is it original gangster or just original?
Original
Original.
gangsters.
Yeah.
Original gangster. That's what it means.
Okay.
1 second. You know more than the kid?
Well,
I had that-
yeah, because this is
Or you're
90s
again
slang.
playing God and pressing buttons and checking it out?
No. This is 90s slang. I know more than they do.
Yeah.
90s
But,
slang, I know.
but I'll tell you, I've been watching a lot of these Tupac videos and videos
Oh.
about the rappers and all the fighting
Oh.
and East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
And, all. And OG is used a lot. And that's,
is.
like you said, it's 20
It's
years old. When
90s
did he
slang.
die? When did he die? Which year did Tupac,
Tupac
get
died
killed?
in 96, I think,
Yeah, so
or
it's
97.
just post that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so OG is even back. It's earlier than that also, right? Because I mean, like you used to refer to Run DMC as the OG gang, or the OG rappers,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, like it's older than that. So I mean, like it's been around since the 90s for
Who's that
sure.
sugar guy who's blamed for his killing and all that? Who's gone to jail now? Scary.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the Netflix movie about the Biggie versus Tupac thing?
Oh,
Uh,
so
there's
there's
a
a
great.
controversy.
It's a great movie.
What is it called?
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I'll find it. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Now
but
God
it's-
can't make a phone call.
Well, I
Before
can
that,
do
you
it.
can do
No,
Kakao in 2 minutes.
I can do the this, but it is a great documentary.
Man, I tell you, YouTube is scary, bro. The stuff that you can pick up. And I don't have an interest in rap from a art point of view or anything. But just seeing the underbelly of that world
It's called Unsolved.
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 So, so Tupac's murder has not been solved in a real sense.
It has not been solved in a real sense. So basically, what this is that about 10 or 15 years after Tupac's murder, the LAPD reopens the case because they feel there's a lot of pressure that it was not investigated properly.
Right.
Not Tupac's murder, sorry, Biggie's murder. Biggie died in Los Angeles.
So
Right?
who dies first?
Tupac dies in Vegas, Biggie dies in LA. So for Biggie's murder, they do it. I think so. Tupac dies first, and Biggie's killed in revenge, sort of, kind of, somewhat, maybe.
They both die quite publicly, right? Like on
Public-
the Las Vegas trip or something.
Yeah.
So
So
both
Tupac
the-
dies on the Las Vegas Strip. Biggie dies somewhere.
There's no
in-
conclusion to who killed them in the end.
So
either.
there is a conclusion to, I think, who killed Tupac. I don't think there's a conclusion to who killed Biggie. Basically, there's a lot of this, right? No, I got that wrong. Sorry. There's a conclusion to who killed Biggie. There's a conclusion to who killed Tupac.
Dudu,
I have no idea about this, but
Not
I
into
know,
rap?
like, no, I'm not that much into it.
hip hop. What kind of music do you listen to?
I like hip hop, but not like I've not followed the 90s stuff. Like I listen to Kendrick Lamar. Like
How rude.
I like Kendrick Lamar.
Calling us old. Oof. I'm really old because I haven't heard the 90s stuff.
No,
Oof.
but yeah, it's morely like I
But
don't know.
you no interest in the history of all this?
I mean, yeah, I will at some point, but I'd rather watch like history.
Okay, it's
Like,
not an
people
intelligent
dying
word.
and
It's fine.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah. Sorry.
No, I just prefer the like.
I'm the other way around. I'm more
Why?
fascinated with the history and all the stories than I am about the music,
Same
which
Yeah.
here.
is which is odd, But once
Mm-hmm.
I get into something, then it's a little obsessive, and I like to see what's happening.
No, same here. I like the history and the mythology around this stuff much more so than the actual music of it.
Music. Fair.
Tupac and Biggie are great, but my rap stuff, the stuff that I used to like was, dude, I like stuff like the Fresh Prince. I like things like
So you're a conservative rapper,
no, I
With
like the fun rap, man. I mean, like, there was all that,
not the
there was
hardcore.
not,
Uh,
yeah, the
mean
gangster stuff, right? Like,
Eminem, please stand up, which my daughter sings just to
yeah,
make me,
like Arrested
puke.
Development's one of my favorite albums of all time, right? I mean,
I like
like
the show.
it's just a fun it's just a really really fun kind of rap group, right? It's like funk rap, all that kind of stuff
What are
mixed in.
you?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts then about Baba Sehgal, who gave us Thanda
Baba
Thanda
Cycle
Pani?
is the best. I mean, like Baba Cycle's legend.
Devang
Thanda
Patel
Thanda
also.
Pani.
Huh?
Devang Patel, yes, yes,
Yes,
top two in my
yes,
book.
yes, yes.
Is there a third?
Devang
I don't
Patel
think
is
India
great.
has a third. We've searched high and low. Do we
Yeah,
have
I
a
mean, like
rapper?
no Divine or anybody like that. They don't
Oh
compare.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
No,
Divine
like
and all
come
they sound
on, yeah.
professional. That's horrible. Don't bring them out. I want my Thanda Thanda Pani. When you hear title track, maybe Madonna and some man. I mean, what
uh,
more do you want? Yeah.
Sorry, there was a rap group that was escaping my mind. Tribe Called Quest. Like that was my favorite rap
What?
group from the '90s. A
Rap?
Tribe Called Quest.
A tribe
but
called
I really want to
Quest.
hear this funk rap that you're talking, funk hip hop and stuff.
Yeah, no. So I mean, like it's all this kind of like Arrested Development. You should give it a listen. They have some really well-known songs too, like Mr. Wendo
Okay.
was one of the songs. They're good. You should definitely check them out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've written a song, a rap song called Lockdown Blues, but no one is giving me airplay
Yep.
time.
And then, of course, if you want to talk about '90s rap, then I mean, like the best, of course, is Rage Against the Machine, right? Different
Ah.
than altogether that, but it is rap.
Okay.
There's no way you can call it anything but rap.
And it's not rap with that C in the beginning.
No, it's incredible, man. I mean, like I have always been a huge Rage Against the Machine fan, and that the guitar player they have probably like a top 5 guitar player of all time. So
Glenn Campbell, number one.
Glenn
Anyway,
Campbell of
start.
the Eagles.
No, Glenn Campbell, country
No.
musician,
Oh, okay.
not of the
Oh
Eagles.
God, no, please.
Glenn Campbell was a magic. You got to hear him play the guitar.
I will try
You have
and
no
do
idea.
this.
You have no idea how good he
I
is.
will give it a I'll give it a shot,
Oof.
but I
You may not
mean,
like the music. You won't like the music, but you hear the guitar.
so
Sabah
I'm
Kareem is one.
Sabah Kareem second. Sabah Kareem second. And there's proof. Thanks to Craig, we have it forever because that was a side he didn't want to show anyone. I don't know why. It's a rather small guitar. It may be a banjo or a mandolin or something. Huh? Because he's in and his elbows are in like a tricep press and he's doing this. He's not even. It's not even there. So I think, whatever. I mean, the man's knowledge of music is more than mine. I'm not going to get into it. Sabah, when you hear the show, Sabah, we love you. All right, shall we go to AMAs? All this nonsense
do it.
about
Yes.
Run DMC and Arrested Development. What's going on? Thanda, Thanda, Pani. What the hell is the second line? Anybody watching can give us
That's
the
it.
second
Repeat
line
the
of
same
Thanda.
line again.
Is it
That's
that?
the whole song.
That's it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Like, please don't go. The world's
I
worst song
don't.
ever.
I don't
Please
know.
don't go. Don't go. Please don't go. Don't go. Please don't go. I mean, how long did they take to write that? 6 seconds? 7? Wow.
Yeah. All right.
but no, wait, there's another part to that. Don't go away.
Yeah,
It's
don't
not
go
just
away.
please. There's a don't go away part to
Isn't
that
this
as
from
well.
our generation, which would play on the parties? I hated
This
that
was
song.
this was a nightclub
90s,
song in the
right?
mid '90s. Yes.
Oh, very painful, very painful. And I hate the people who do, how people react to songs they like. So then, they run off.
Oh yeah, no,
Anyway,
this was the song that people used to get up and jump and start dancing on.
yeah.
It was the easiest song in the world to dance for, now because everybody knows the lyrics, so you can
Everyone knows
just
the
jump
lyrics.
around and go,
All the
please
lazy
don't
Kunal
go.
Vijaykars who will never learn lines would be like, I know this one. I just keep saying, don't go at different times. Don't go, please don't go, don't go. God, what a terrible song. That and Alice. Alice shows you how lazy urban
No, but
Indians are.
Alice was a bus song.
No, but the thing about Alice is that everybody only knows the two lines.
Yeah.
Nobody
Ah,
sings Sally call, da da da. Nobody knows all that. They
that
only
is
know,
true.
I don't know what's who the fuck is that? That's the only thing they know. And for that they
That,
get excited. Oh, baja, let's go. And this is one line. It's one line.
that is
And they
true.
feel really happy after saying the F word. And everybody looks at each other and smiles. Who the fuck is that? I'm so bad. I'm on Run DMC. All right. What do we do?
Well,
Alright,
we were
let's
going to
get
go
the
to the
AMAs.
AMAs.
All right,
I
let's
think
go
we
to the
should.
AMAs. Yep.
This
We
Dudu
have some
has
great
come and just
questions.
destroyed us. Hey,
Have some
Dudu,
good-
what's the story with the hair, bro? You didn't explain that. And Amit was not being,
No, it was shocking, right? I mean,
combative
yeah, no.
because
The video opened and I saw his hair like this, and it was like, whoa, what's that?
This
It's
also because I like just woke up like right on time for this, so like I've not had time to breathe
hey Amit,
or
what he's
anything.
trying to tell us nicely is that when you can flaunt it, okay, we don't have that option.
I'm losing it all from here, but yeah,
There's not a trace of hair loss.
there's quite a lot.
No, you don't have a ball spot. How old are you?
28, but
You're
it's thinning,
You
right?
Hey,
know,
same man.
if you're on my
Same. I
line,
was saying.
when it starts thinning in the ball, you can ask Amit this. They're so clinical about it when they're lighting you and all that. They'll be like, "Oh, dekh sakta hai, spot dekh sakta hai, sar pe." The first time you hear it,
Yeah.
it's like cold fear because they don't say it with any sensitivity. It's worse than Malba Hill police. And then the guy will come and put topic on your head. The first time they did that, I was, what are you doing? He said, no, it's hide karne ka na. And tuck, tuck, tuck. And he covering my eyes so I don't get it in my eyes. I said, what about my heart and soul? That's where it's gone, not in my bloody eyes. The first time it's very humiliating because a sense of age happens immediately. Ooh.
Yeah.
Then of course now I tell them topic,
What's it called? Topic.
topic. The cheap shoots. If you guys do better in life, go beyond me, you'll do very well. Then they'll give you much better stuff. Then somebody will do your makeup properly, so no one will know. Like the big
Yeah.
stars, nobody knows, or they think nobody knows. So when they come on, it's done. For the cheaper one, it's like powder. You know, yuk jao, tak, chalo, take it. Literally like that. AMA time, please, guys.
All right, AMA. Let's get to the first question comes in from Akshay K. He says, Saurabh Pant in his live stream Saturday with News Laundry was
Hmm?
promoting Cyrus Says show. Any message you want to give to him and any plan of getting him
Oh,
back on the show? So we would definitely
after
get him back on the
abusing
show.
him so much, I feel terrible. Really. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to say. I apologize, Saurav, because every time I've not performed, been with Saurav performance a couple of times in corporate shows, he's been screaming and shouting like he's a Bengali politician, within 5 minutes. So I was like, what's going on? And then he's ranting about some airline or something. But he's a sport. He's a great guy. We love him. And thank you, Saurav, for being so melodramatic on the air. Maybe meant something else. Sometimes you just say the wrong name because it's in your head. Who knows?
All right.
I think
Next
after
one.
years of being heckled and bullied and abused, I just don't take praise well. I've never taken praise well. I'm more comfortable with people telling me something sarcastic or stupid. So if somebody actually says things like, I follow your show and all, I don't know how to respond, frankly. I'm almost like appalled and disappointed in them. I don't know. I really don't know what to do. Uh, Sorry, Silvery.
All right. Next one comes in from Amulya. He or she could be either. Asks AMA for Cyrus, what is the
Male.
worst? Amulya,
Isn't it
can
male?
you? I think it's male, but it could be female also, no? Amulya.
Yeah, but why you judging the pronouns, man? He or
I'm
she.
not.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming. Okay, this person has asked
Hey, Dudu's
Amulya.
waking up. He'll redo the show.
Yeah. AMA for Cyrus, what is the worst thing you have seen an Indian do abroad that made you feel embarrassed or made you cringe?
Well,
I have one.
yeah, please.
So this is again my brother. We were in Singapore, like when we were like kids. I was like maybe 10, 12 years old. I remember my brother used to hate getting his nails cut. So my mother is in the middle of the road cutting my brother's nails in Singapore, where there's just super clean. The roads are like you can't see a speck of dirt. And my brother's getting his nails cut, which is very.
I also have one.
Please.
I was at Niagara Falls on
Oh,
that.
wow.
Comparing.
No. On Niagara Falls, that boat that takes you really close to
Hey,
the
don't be
falls.
mean. There are a lot of people who haven't gone beyond Pune. Fuck. You're talking everybody like everybody's going up and down to Canada and back or America or the border, where the hell it is.
No, but abroad, right? So I can't give a Pune story. I mean, Indians embarrassing themselves in India is anyway, we know.
Every 5 minutes. Yeah, correct. Good
but,
point.
but I had one. So I was in that boat and there was like some Gujarati couple next to me. And suddenly, once we went close, he just started shouting, "Oh, dekho, swarg se aaya hai, doodh ka pani," and all of that. Dude, I was like, what is? I just moved. So,
I've got two also equally
yeah.
ugly stories. One is, I hope my wife doesn't watch the podcast. We had just got married and gone for the honeymoon, and being a generous person, she was working on Karan Johar's Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum as a photographer. So she got a free ticket to London and where they were camped. So I had to only pay for myself, and then we took the Euro to Paris for our so-called honeymoon, 5 days in El Dorado, cheapest motel ever. You have a Spanish-sounding name or Mexican-sounding name in Paris, you're in the wrong place. Anyway, I'll come to that later. But we were on a bus doing this tour, looking at the Seine and all these things. And an Indian couple came, recognized me, and they came up, and remember there were no selfies in 2001 really.
Yeah.
So they had the old-fashioned camera. So then the guy wanted the lady, of course, the man wants the picture. The lady didn't want anything to do with me. So she took the picture and he came and sat between two of us. And Dudu, I swear to God, you know what he did? He pulled his cock.
What?
He just adjusted himself. He's sitting
Oh,
between us and he's saying, okay, ready, ready. And he adjusted himself.
oh
And
shit.
both of us looked at each other. I was like, what? Why? But no idea that he did it. It was like a reflex thing that happened. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Second worst story for me was in Kenya, and I love animals. I was so excited to go and see these things, get up early in the morning, you see animals in the wild, and then we finally see a lion kill. It just had happened, lionesses actually, and they're standing over the kill of a deer. And it really makes your hair stand up because there's a lot
Yeah.
of, I haven't seen it like that. And we're very close, just 30, 40 feet away on top of a Jeep. And watching, and the next Jeep that comes, because now word gets out, so 3, 4 Jeeps come. And an Indian kid, of course, straight from Delhi, Papa, Papa. Papa already bored, he can't stand animals. Papa, Papa, tiger. fundamental, fundamental point, you moron, animal lover coming on a bloody safari. There are freaking tigers in the bloody African continent. Oh, I remember it made poor Kunal, who doesn't like animals enough and was bored stiff and couldn't stand, and he couldn't mount those jeeps. Okay, so because there's big steps to climb and all that, he hated the whole thing. That was the only time I saw him happy. He just went back laughing and laughing and laughing, because nothing makes you happier than an ignorant Indian. Just makes you feel that brotherhood is there immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you all a story. You all have described individuals who have been embarrassing.
Yeah.
I will describe our culture as being inscribed. This.
You're not in Calcutta. Be very careful what you
No,
say.
no, no.
Go on.
So I'm coming back from. So there's a direct flight from Newark to Bombay. So I'm coming back. This was maybe 6, 7 years ago, and they start to announce boarding. About 30 seconds into it, the guy at the gate is like, everybody, please board as requested. We are not
Sequence.
going anywhere without you. There is no reason to rush.
Wow.
Please take your time. Please board as we call your rows. Because as soon as he said we are announcing boarding, everybody just attacked the lines,
Yeah.
right? And he had to say this 3 times. We're not leaving without you. And I don't understand I don't understand people around this. It's a direct flight to Bombay, right? So it's not like you have to worry about placing your baggage or anything like that, because it's coming with you. There's no way it's not coming with you. It was just the most like, and you're in the middle of, it's a Bombay to New York flight. So it's not even like, there is any kind of ambiguity about who the people are. And you're in the middle of all these other gates where people are looking at you, and they're all looking, right? Why is this guy having to say that we're not leaving the flight without you? It was just it was one of the
But it
most.
speaks of our entire social fabric, that we feel so much fear at being left out because it's
Uh-huh.
overcrowded or whatever the reasons are, that everywhere we rush. When there's a
Uh-huh.
queue formation, it's a rush thing in India for some reason. It's like we have to get there first or we won't get it.
Yeah. Well,
Probably
that's the fear.
someone has to trace that, why
The
that.
Well,
second the
so
flight lands, also, right? The same thing. The second
Yeah,
the
to
flight
get
lands,
out, to
everyone
get
just
out.
gets
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
There's no hurry. You will all get out aram se.
Now, if
you're
you're
not
on a
going at flights.
We don't trust the system essentially.
That's
But if you're
exactly
the
it,
only
right?
Indian guy on a Finland to Mumbai flight, and you won't behave badly. Everybody will go at a slower pace and
But
just
you know
exit
what,
properly.
Cyrus? I think your behavior will not be caught.
Maybe not.
Because I have been like, so I was on a flight from Frankfurt to Orlando, which is not a typical route that Indian people would try. And it was because I had to go for a specific thing to Orlando itself, which is why I took that flight, right?
Basketball.
And no, not basketball. It was a podcasting conference.
Oh,
But
AKA basketball, NBA match.
but so the thing is that I did see, I saw this behavior. I continued to see this behavior a little bit, right? That where the
Pushing and coming to the front,
coming to the
rushing
front,
to
getting up as
end
soon
of
as the
beginning of the
flight
line.
is, yeah, flight is landed. It's not even like seatbelt sight is not off yet, and
Also,
people are getting up to get their bags, their
this is
carry-on stuff.
this is where the pandemic is a positive thing for us.
Oh.
We are the only people who touch. So when you get into a line, it has you. Let me get as close to your bum as possible. I have been, butt humped so many times I can't tell you. We just no other culture will actually touch you, but we just boom boom like an accordion. It just goes boom. Oh, someone. Maybe after the pandemic it will change. I doubt it. I'm
Yep.
sure things are okay. We're back in that line, pushing. Sidhu, what are you drinking?
Water.
Okay,
What? Why are you
is that your
surprised?
first meal?
Yeah, I've not had a meal yet. I'll have it at 12.
Are you- Intermittent fasting?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while now.
But you want to lose weight?
No, it's just like better.
It's
Like
a weight loss thing. Huh? It's a very good weight loss thing, but it's not. It's not good. It doesn't keep
But
you robust.
I
only
like the energy level. I have good energy levels when I do it.
That's what they say.
it depends on when you stop eating at night, right? I mean, like if you
Yeah.
do an intermittent fasting thing where you stop eating like an hour before you go to bed, that
Yeah.
doesn't work. The point of
Yeah.
this whole thing is to cut
Three,
food
4 hours before.
at least a few
Oh, yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah,
multiple hours before
yeah,
you.
yeah. I don't have a problem. I cut it at like 8 o'clock.
But do you have a weight problem? I can't remember you being fat.
I was like fat. I was like 20 kilos extra. Then I lost all of it. Yeah. Now I'm at my lowest so
Oh.
far.
What is your lowest?
74.
Don't go lower
Like
than that. Men should look like men.
yeah. I mean, I'll try to gain some muscle mass now. That's
A
the plan.
fat man is more pleasant to look at than a thin man. A thin man just looks horrible. Never be that. Huh. Amit, back to you.
Okay.
Get it?
No, that was not a subtle dig. Sorry, Silvery, back to you.
Nothing
Back to
subtle
you.
about it.
All right. This one is quite interesting. This question comes in from Tarun Kaushik. He asks, did the BJP taunt Mamata Banerjee too much? The way Jai Shri Ram became a war cry, or the slogans like Do Mai Didi Gai was unnecessary and too personal. And also Didi O Didi was creepy as hell. What do you think?
On one side, I'm okay with all this because I love political, the fight. It's like a cricket match, a football match on the ground, on the field. Let them go for it. It's all fun. What I would like is them to, acknowledge at the end, like you shake hands and get on with it, which he's vaguely done, um, somewhat. Congratulate her towards the end. So I guess it's okay. All's fair in love, war, and politics. What do you feel, Dudu?
I mean, I mean, what else will the BJP do if not like
No, the sledging. Is the sledging okay? That's what he's asking. I think
I
the
mean,
question is
I
below the
don't
belt.
think
Is it below the belt?
ideally not because like what I read about this other form of democracy, which is called ranked choice voting, which I think if we apply it in India, where it's not about you voting for the one person, it's about you voting for a bunch of people. So all the campaigns suddenly become a little better where you're not like abusing the other person because it's like you give a 4 5 people this thing and then they take an average of that and that's when something happens.
It's
So
Yeah,
almost, yeah.
I would agree. I think ranked choice voting is great for democracies where actual policy is what's being debated. I
yeah,
don't think in our democracy policy is being debated.
that's
We
yeah.
are
We
still at
can
the
trust.
point where
Hmm,
we are debating corruption. Okay, you
yeah.
are the bigger thief than
Oh,
I am.
I have
yeah.
another end to it. I think we just are in our DNA, there's too much psychophancy. And because of
Hmm,
that, we just want stars and we want to worship. There's a
yeah.
godlike need, a need to have godlike
And
positions
we
for these
want it to
people.
be dirty. Otherwise, there's no point. Like otherwise, there's no.
No, that's their style. They like to sledge. I
Yeah.
don't mind a good sledge. I think where do you draw the line is the question. You don't want to polarize communities and cause hatred and all that. I don't mind a few digs. I think a
But
few
Uh,
little bad
Dude,
Digs are
political
it is
bashing
fine
is
not.
as
good.
long as you're talking about like something more with it, like about development.
But see, that's just it, right? They don't,
No,
right?
but the
None of,
word Vikas is never far away. What are you saying?
no, but
I
they
mean,
use
you're
the word.
talking like sledging. It's like not playing any cricket, but just going on the field to sledge. Like you still have
Yeah.
to play cricket, right?
Okay, that's a nicely put actually. So what you're
Yeah.
saying is they can't back it up with the sport.
Yeah.
That's me in a nutshell. I was the best sledger in my team, but couldn't bat to save my life. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, but again, I think the thing is that the Indian political debate is kind of it's not there, right? I mean, like at least not in the not mass politics, right? I mean, like you might have think tanks debating with each other, or
Yeah.
like your intellectuals debating with ours, but on a mass level, we don't
Mhm.
talk about policy. We just talk about like the other group is a thief.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
are
it's very
basically
generic. The
yeah
specifics are always skirted around a little
yeah
bit.
Yeah.
And then you go into a mandir issue or you go into a pandemic issue, which
I
actually is not really the issue in terms of the longevity and permanence in that state.
and I agree
Yeah.
with Amit because like India is like so corrupt that we named a show Scam 92 so that it's clear that don't mix it up with other scams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like given a superb, yeah, given a number. But I like what I mean by political banter is like Lady Astor and Churchill, for example. She used to try to bait him in Parliament all the time, and she would say things like, if I was your wife, I'd poison your tea, and his return was, and if I was your husband, I'd drink it. And everybody started laughing. So I mean, I just like that. So if there was more banter and they let them pull their punches a little bit or not, I think that would be healthy. But I don't know whether in our culture that happens without people getting really personal, mean, malicious.
Yeah.
There's a line between sporty mean and really mean.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be slightly enlightened to do that, because it's the same reason why when you're on traffic and you make a comment to a driver who's cut you or whatever, you're trying to be slightly funny mean, and that guy's return is teri maki chut or something, which is really clearly not a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
It's like roasting. It's like the roast jokes.
Yeah.
They have to be
Yeah.
like
Even
good
the
roast
roasting, the
jokes.
ones which are on the line are good.
Yeah,
Then you
exactly.
just insult non-stop, then it's just
Yeah.
insult.
It's an insult. Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah.
Which I get at home anyway. So why would I go out and get roasted? Yeah.
Okay, there is a very funny topic discussion. Sorry, a topic suggestion from
Huh.
Sid DA. Sid DA has been suggesting topics to us for like the last few
Okay.
weeks, so which is always fun.
So Sid D is so close to Sid DU here.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah.
Maybe he's got better hair.
Not thinning.
Yeah.
So Sid Dudeja is his name. Sid DA asked, funny topic he suggested is dozens of people in Taiwan have changed their names to Salmon to take advantage of a restaurant sushi promotion deal. So I just looked this up. The thing is, in Taiwan, there is this restaurant which has said that anyone with the name sushi or the Taiwanese
Fish.
word for that word for sushi on their ID, on their personal ID, can get free sushi for themselves and 5 others.
Wow.
Like I think it's like all
I
you can
would
eat
do
kind
it
of
in a
thing.
heartbeat.
Yeah, so
Experiment
exactly.
with sushi.
So more dozens of people have been changing their name, and authorities are like, dude, this is a waste of our time. Government shouldn't have to do this. But people are.
I don't want to go
some
to
names. Sorry, some names. The people have changed their names to are like names like Salmon Prince, Meteor Salmon King, or Salmon Fried Rice, among others.
Okay, I think it's salmon and not salmon. Salmon is the Arabic name. Famous Indian actor as well.
Salmon
Rushdie.
the ship. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
sorry, the
The L
fish.
is silent. Yeah. Mr. Cacao. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some things I do know. I don't know everything. But would you do it, Amit? No, wait, one sec. Not sushi. Your favorite ever, maybe Chinese. Whatever is your favorite cuisine?
No,
Indian, whatever it is.
no.
You wouldn't do it. I would be tempted. If you give me free food,
Yeah.
let's say it's a butter chicken for life from Gaylord's, one of my favorites, or Ling's Chinese or whatever, I may do it. I don't know.
Change
What
your
the hell's
name.
What's the big deal in the bloody name?
You'll have
I'm
to
getting-
go and change it on your Aadhaar card. That's the big deal.
I would love to go and give my vote. My name is Lings. That's with an S. Because Ling means something else. You don't want trouble. They'll be like, do you have any ID? I'll say, yeah, pants.
So the article ends with ends with it going. Officials also issued a reminder that names can only be changed legally 3 times. So be careful. They were like, don't go just changing.
Yeah,
names
That's
willy-nilly.
not on. You should be able to change your name every day if it's a democracy. What's the big deal? Yeah.
There are so
Because
many
it's
things that you
very
have to change.
easy. No, because
Let me tell you, Tamil Nadu has a new
Cyrus,
chief.
it's a fraud issue. It is a fraud issue, right? I mean, like you keep changing your name every couple of
And
weeks.
don't make payments on the old
Don't
name.
make payments on the old name.
I love the idea. Let me write this down. This is something I got to look at this. This is great stuff. I'm trying to buy a phone right now, for example. Vikas Kumar buying that phone and not paying it. Who cares? Because there's about 1 million of them and I'm not them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, like there is a reason for it. I remember that when I had gone to get my driver's license for the first time, they told me that you'll not, if you want to change your name, there is this in India, like there are these problems that you can't change your name and this and that. So get it right.
Speaking of names for a second, just imagine that Tamil Nadu will have a new chief minister, DMK winning. I think it's more or less confirmed now. And his name is Stalin. But in Russia, there's nobody called Stalin who will be in parliament. Just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
So yeah, honestly, I mean, like that's a name that probably you should change.
Oh, be careful. Be careful, bro.
Whoa.
Now
Hey,
he's the boss for
listen,
5 years. Show respect.
He is the boss.
That's his
fine,
choice.
Well, I mean, like,
What do
no,
you think
it's
it's
not
like
his
Adolf?
choice. It was his parents' choice. I
So-
mean,
so
like
you
his
know the
parents made the
fact-
choice at a time when India and Russia were allies in a way where we didn't know what the history of Stalin was or what he actually wound up doing in that country. Right? When things opened up and you
Or
found out,
You're a fan.
that is
Okay.
possible.
Yeah. I mean,
In the
yeah,
Indian- that is
there's also
possible.
that. Never say no to that.
That is
Like,
true.
Like, I think the name Adolf in Europe disappeared after our friend
Mhm.
was, shot himself or
Yeah.
whatever the hell happened to him in the end. So that for 2 generations, but slightly come back now. And we had this discussion, I think, about Dolph Lundgren, the actor.
Dolph.
And
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
he's taken the A out, because I can't believe Dolph is the name. It is Adolf, and they've just taken the A out because
Yeah. I can.
Have you
see
guys
that.
heard of something called Operation Paperclip? Amit, you might be aware.
Sounds like something I've heard of,
So-
but I can't remember
So
what it is.
after
Sounds like
World
my
War
budget.
II, So after World War II, all these Nazi scientists were there, right? Who were
Yeah.
actual Nazi
Yeah,
scientists.
yeah.
Yeah.
So America and Russia,
Took
they
them in,
divided up
took
the
them in.
scientists,
Yeah,
took
they
them
took
in,
them.
and the
Yeah.
American side of this operation
So
was
they
called
could use
Operation
them.
Paperclip.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could use them. So like the first rocket that made it to moon,
Yeah.
with Neil Armstrong, was made
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
basically Nazi technology,
Yeah.
or
Well,
like from
they
those
did great
from those
Well, they had
scientists.
given up their Nazi ways now. They
That's
wanted
what
to
they say.
survive.
That's what they say. But
I
they were
mean,
still
deep
evil
down, what they were,
people.
who
Some of them
knows?
were convicted for
Isn't
war,
that
war
story
against humanity.
So
Okay,
Al
that,
Pacino
that's
story that we all saw on Netflix or whatever, Amazon?
which one?
Which one?
The one about
Oh
these
yeah, yeah,
neo-Nazis, you know,
the Nazi hunter story.
the Nazi hunter story. Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what's the show? This sounds
It's a
It's
movie,
quite
I think.
fascinating because a lot of them in both settling in South America and being protected by the government in North America and
Mm.
Russia
Oh, yeah, I read one
prospered.
book called Mozart, how they captured, I think, Adolf, that Eichmann.
Eichmann.
Yeah, Eichmann, the Butcher of Leon.
Hmm.
I used to call my wife that because I used to call her Ike instead of because I don't know, everybody used to call her Aish. So I started calling her Ike. Then when she started beating me more and more, I said, okay, I'm going to make this Eichmann, Butcher of Leon. She didn't get it in the beginning. She had no idea what I was saying. It was disgusting comment.
Okay. Before we
Nobody
end,
on this podcast tells my wife anything, okay? She's already angry. By
before
next week, my
yeah,
mother too.
cool. So I think that's the end of the episode, though.
Yeah,
Just
please,
before we
yeah.
end, just a reminder to everyone to please like the stream and please tell your friends that we are live streaming every morning at 10 a.m. That'll be a great help. Thanks so
And
much,
if you're
guys.
not listening or if you're not watching over here, then go and listen and subscribe on like a podcasting app. That's also all the audio also comes out.
And you
We
can
need
watch
to.
Amazon's LOL, Hase to Fase.
Yes,
It's a
please do
great
that.
saga
So that-
about love, betrayal, mistrust,
And
sex,
Nazi hunters.
and Nazi hunters who are rediscovered in Patna, if you please.
Dudeja, anything you need to plug?
I'll be doing a Zoom show on the 15th. I'll be posting it on my Instagram. So yeah, please come.
So plug your Instagram now, dude.
I think
My
you should do a
Instagram.
live hair combing session.
Oh
I will
yeah,
tune in.
I haven't combed
Dudeja
my
with a
hair.
comb. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes of pleasure. We'll play Run DMC or Arrested Development, whatever he wants in the background. Will Smith's that thing from Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which my daughter can sing live. And you just do this with your hair for 5 minutes. See if we can get a new look.
Yeah, I'll definitely try
Hey,
that.
let's do it on a show. Are you willing?
Yeah, I mean, I've not combed my hair in I don't know how many years.
And why should you?
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah, but you can follow me on Instagram at Siddharth Dudeja. And yeah, I'll be posting about my shows, Zoom show, so come join.
And that Virat Kohli awards function that we were supposed to do together last year and got cancelled this year again because of the.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So let's hope we're third time lucky, you know. Or maybe
Wait,
there'll be
Wait,
something
what is
else.
this? What is this?
We were working on a show. Virat Kohli's foundation has this huge non-cricket award show,
Indian
which last
sports honor.
March was. I had the Legends. I had this. I had Amazon was on March. The show that's now out. So we were packed. And Sid and I were working on something, some act that we were supposed to do in the middle of this show. Blah blah blah. It's a very high-profile show with very big names.
Yeah.
Not just cricketers who would attend because he's Virat Kohli, but you know everybody from politicians to business. You can just think about Mr. Kohli calls you, you're going to come, right? So it was a really big show, and we were all quite excited about it and all. And just 2 days before, Carl Lewis, who was supposed to attend, he basically called up from Houston or wherever and said he will not be coming to India because of this breaking out of this whatever. And we all laughed at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
24 hours later, they canceled the show because one by one, people, it happened very quickly, if you guys remember. Within
Yeah.
1 or 2 days, it all shut
It,
down.
uh,
Boom, boom,
it,
boom, boom, boom.
it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 13th of March was the day when things started getting really, really real. By 17th, we shut our office.
I think
Yeah.
our show was on the 6th, and I think I met Cyrus first or second, and then the next day or something they cancelled it, like
Yeah.
2 days before the show.
6th of
Yeah.
March or 6th of April?
6th of
March.
March.
Maybe
Really?
a week
They
before
canceled it
India
that
closed down.
early?
Yeah,
No,
because
they refused to come. And then so the people started getting scared.
very high
No, I think he's
No,
got
but
the date
even in
wrong.
the
It's closer to the.
yeah, even in the US, like so, I mean, like the day where the US considers like where it was considered in the US that COVID came out, right, was the 12th or 13th of March because 2 or 3 things happened. Tom Hanks tested positive that day. Then there was the NBA player who tested positive because of which the NBA shut down completely, and there was one third thing as well. 3 things happened on that day, which is like
Donald
overnight,
Trump
like, oh
tested
wow,
negative.
this is real.
Yeah, yeah.
oh no, but I don't know how but this particular show.
No, it was closer to the date because the guy refused to board the plane. So he's right. The
Yeah.
shit hit the fan there first because their fear was a little more than ours. And then other people, Virat himself made a call because people said it'll be insensitive. This thing is happening. We'll just push it. Because as usual, nobody knew how long it would take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea was to push it. We'll get back to you with a date and all that. So we all thought April, everything will be fine. Well, it's April of the next year and now May. And blah blah blah. So with this positive news, I'm going because I have to walk dogs and in fear, because if a police van comes with a PA screaming in my ear telling me, wow, I'm a notorious criminal, I have to deal with that. So wish me luck, guys.
Notorious CIY or
Yeah.
CYR or whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it work. That's okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and you think they can spell? Come on. Okay, bye, Dudu,
Bye bye.
Silvery,
Bye.
Amit.